Well, I've got the bottom end of the Royal Enfield 500 Electra X engine all put together now after that trial assembly where I had the cases clamped together with G-clamps. I've now got a gasket in between the cases and they're all bolted up together. The crank is still spinning nice and freely. Very happy with all that. And I was just about to start fitting the piston. I've got a brand new piston for it because as we saw in an earlier video, one of the circlips had sort of been gouging into the side of the circlip groove of the old piston, and it looks quite worn anyway, and it's obviously been quite hot and so on, and it was a bit rattly in the bore, so we've got a new piston to put in. The old conrod had a bush in it, in the small end. The new one doesn't, but that doesn't really matter. And I've seen Honda engines with a similar setup where the gudgeon pins run direct in the metal, so that's okay. But I was about to fit the new piston, and the new piston came in this box, Royal Enfield genuine spares. There's piston rings there that I haven't even unpacked yet, and there's one of the circlips. The other one's in the piston, and now that leads us to my dilemma really. Hopefully the camera will pick this up. But there's the circlip in there, and although I had to sort of compress the circlip with circlip pliers to get it in, it's actually a loose and slightly rattling fit inside its groove in the piston. So that's no good, because even if it would hold the gudgeon pin in place, with the engine running and the piston moving up and down, that would hammer and chatter and find its way out in no time at all. So that's a brand new circlip, one of the pair that came with the piston in the Royal Enfield box. Also I noticed that there's the old piston, and you can actually see the old circlip there. It's shiny where the rubbing was happening. But notice the different types of circlip used between the old piston and the new one. The old piston had these round wire type circlips, and the grooves in the piston to take the circlips are actually rounded, so you'd expect really to see a wire type in there, but it came with these flat spring circlips which have got a flat edge, and they're just not the right size and not really compatible to the piston. So I'm going to see what I've got among my Royal Enfield bits and pieces. I think I probably could come up with a new set of something like these and put those in. But if anybody installed one of these pistons straight out the box, they'd be running into trouble in no time with the fit of the circlips in a piston causing damage, I would think. So that's one to bear in mind and look out for, I would say. And the circlip actually was quite, not a struggle, but it wasn't easy to fit. The circlip pliers had to sort of squeeze it a fair way to get it in the hole in the piston, but then when it sprung out, as we've seen, it's loose and slightly rattly fit, so that's not very good at all. So I'm going to see what I can do about it anyway.